Hey Rick, how you doing?
Good, Megan. It's Tuesday.
Here we are. It's Tuesday, one Tuesday after another, and um, I this is our uh kind of a heavy week for all of us with the fires that have gone on in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. And holy cow, I mean, what a nightmare! And
Yeah,
we're
boy.
sure, yeah,
Unbelievable.
I don't even think anybody can fully process what's
No,
happened, you know.
no, it'll take a while.
I have one family that I know that lost three houses. It was like
Wow.
the parents and their adult children. Three houses, like nobody has anywhere to go. So we've got to look for opportunities to
Yeah,
support them, you know.
no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so
So
bad.
that brings us to a topic this week that
Mhm.
is we're going to touch a little bit on homeowners insurance, but we were looking for topics today, and we thought, how about the unexpected costs of homeownership that people
Mhm.
don't necessarily think about? And I don't think that this is true, and I'm not being you know snotty here, but I don't think this is true of the people that we work with, because the people that we work with are very well prepared
They
for
are.
being a homeowner by
Doubt.
the time
No doubt
they're a
about it.
homeowner.
That's
Do you
right.
know, in all of my years being a realtor, this will be 27, I
Mhm.
have only had one client that let their house go to foreclosure. And that was because there was a
That's
divorce
remarkable.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was a divorce involved, and they just didn't want to deal with it mentally, emotionally. But
sure.
yeah, I mean, those are some great numbers. We make sure people are very well prepared before they make a huge commitment like owning a home.
Well, it just makes for a much smoother process throughout the entire transaction. And when we get to closing, people are actually happy.
Yeah,
Difference.
exactly. They're not thinking, I didn't know about that. And oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I don't have any money. Like, they know what they're getting into
mhm,
before they close escrow.
for sure. No
We
doubt
make
about it.
sure of it. So let's talk about it. So when you own a house, you have your mortgage payment, and the mortgage payment is sometimes impounded with your taxes and
Mhm,
insurance, your property
mhm.
taxes and your insurance. Now, tell us, Rick, um, the type of loans where it's required that it be impounded, and how does one sort of figure that out?
Well, FHA requires it for sure. Conventional mortgages do not require impound accounts. That's optional, but in every situation though, Megan, I always suggest the impound account because let's face the reality. I mean, property taxes and at this price level we're talking about are, $10,000 a year in most cases,
Hmm.
thousand a year. And so one thing we don't want to have happen to one of our customers is they wind up at 6 months getting a tax bill for $4,000 or $5,000. They got to pay it. I mean,
Hmm.
the idea of having a lower payment initially sounds really attractive until they get this big tax bill and they go, "Oh, how am I going to pay for this?" Well, from my perspective, at least, and the same thing for me, by the way, I'm in the business and I do this. It's much easier to break that down into monthly payments and include that in your payment each month. So that way, when those taxes come due, and the same for homeowners insurance, when they come due, the money's already in that account. It's a set and it's a done for you already. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. I get the tax
Hmm.
bill, go, I'm not worried about that. Just put it aside and know it's already paid. So
Hmm.
it is optional. Some people decide based on maybe they have a job where they get a big bonus every quarter and they go, no, I'll get the bonus. I'll pay my taxes. I'm not worried about it. Okay, that's
Hmm.
fine too. What I would suggest, though, really for the average, for most people, not having an impound account, can be a little bit scary, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
I agree. I agree. And the taxes, we say they're due no darn fooling around. So due in November,
They are
late in
due. Yep.
December, due in February, late in April. So there's two tax bills. I personally um prefer that things are impounded because it's just less for me to worry about later.
Right.
But
Right.
some people are like, I'm not going to give the bank this money to, what I could have it in an account. So it's whatever your preference is. So the property taxes, we usually, I mean, property taxes vary obviously from county to county, city to city. If you're buying in the Great Park neighborhood, your taxes are going to be a lot higher than if you're buying in
Double.
downtown Anaheim. Yeah, because
Double.
yeah, that's a newer neighborhood. They have new streets, new schools. It's called Melrose. So they have more higher taxes. But in general, we say just to be on the heavy side, we usually calculate 1.25%,
Right. Sure.
for property taxes. So your property taxes yearly are about 1.25% of your purchase price. And they do go up usually every year just by a little bit because there is a cap on how much they can go up per year.
Right, and also it's important to know that when we do that impound account up front, when the property is reassessed, if those taxes come in lower, that monthly payment is also adjusted lower to account for those lower taxes. And if there's too much money in that account, for example, they overfunded it, if you will, you'll get that refund back as well when they assess the account. So you don't keep too much money extra in that account. They just want to have enough in there so that when those taxes come due, it's going to be paid without having to contact you, the homeowner, and go, hey, we need another $1,000.
Yeah.
So it's all pretty much covered.
Yeah, that's, when people buy a house, the tax assessor doesn't automatically just boom, reassess it. It takes a couple of months for the tax assessor to figure out that the property's changed ownership and now the tax base is almost always higher than what it was before. So since we pay our property taxes in arrears, then we get a bill for the supplemental property taxes. It's between when we closed escrow and the current tax billing time. So yeah, so that's a very good point because it is not nice to get that bill like a few months after you move in and you go, oh my gosh, another bill, another thing to pay for.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, but some people, they need a tax write-off, and I'm not a tax person, nor am I allowed to give, tax or legal advice, but you've got like your 20 grand a year in state and local income, or taxes that you can add to your accountant's list of things to evaluate for a write-off. And then of course we have insurance. God help us. Insurance. Well, I don't know if you guys have changed how you calculate that, but I mean, I would say a normal house, just a normal old house is probably going to run you at least $120 a month. And that's until they figure out that you're anywhere near an open space and then you're in deep doo-doo. Yeah. So I think on one of our houses, it's considered in a fire zone. And so we had to get the state insurance. And, with the state insurance, you also have to get your own supplemental insurance because it only covers, the fire situation. And so your supplemental covers, liability and personal belongings and all that sort of thing. But I would say normal house, maybe 125 a month.
Maybe 150, somewhere in that range. And that really depends upon what you choose for coverages, deductibles, things like that. So yeah, I'd say that's probably a fair enough range.
I always personally choose the highest deductible that I can get because we've never made an insurance claim ever. And so, we don't want to be part of the problem making an insurance claim over every little thing. And so we'll save it for the big things. So we've got property taxes, we've got insurance. So the insurance, if you have regular insurance, it could be 125 to 150, depending on what your coverage is, what your deductibles are. If you have state insurance, it's usually for a normal size house, 2,000 to 3,000 a year. For a very large house, I just have a house in Temecula, and he pays 4,000 a year for fire insurance. Plus, and it's like a gigantic house with another house and all this kind of stuff. So that gives you an idea of how much the insurance will cost.
Good idea.
And then, sorry about that. And then, I have the phone on D&D, but, let me just double check here so that doesn't happen again. All right. Then, let's say you buy a house with a pool, okay? And people love the idea of having a pool. I think you have a pool at your house.
I do. Mhm.
I have a pool at my house. And unless you learn to take care of that pool yourself, between paying somebody and the things that can go wrong with the pool, and the water and the power, I'm going to say that a pool is going to cost you at least $300 a month extra.
Well, I got to tell you, in my house, when I moved into my house, gosh, years ago now, I did the pool myself for a while. Then we had to fire me. I didn't do
Yeah.
very I had to fire the pool guy.
Yeah.
Oh, not too well. So,
You're not a good chemist.
no, I'm not good. It's like,
Yeah.
there's not enough of that kind of thing. Yeah, there's an expense there for sure.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
if you do it on your own, but that's just not my skill set. So, and
It's okay. You know, you could admit you're good at what you do and not at pools. Okay, so, but yeah, so for a pool person, for the extra power to run a pool and little repairs, I'm going to say it's at least $300 a month for a pool. But anytime something, if your pump goes out or your filter case cracks or whatever the situation is, obviously that's going to be a bigger repair on top of that. So that's something you got to put at least, $500 in a year away for
maybe, yeah.
when, when the stuff hits the fan.
Well,
So
I can tell you, for example, my pool pump went out about 6 months ago, and it was $2,500 to replace it.
whoa,
Yeah,
jeez,
yeah.
wowee.
So that was a nice little surprise on top of the monthly bill. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
the point why we're having this conversation now. Those are expenses we come across. We have to just be aware of those, and just they're going to happen. I mean, you have a
right,
home long enough, something's going to break, and you've got to fix it. And if you've got a
right.
pool, you have to add the filter, for example, the pool pump. Things happen. So just really be aware of it. And if you can, put some money aside so that when those things happen, you go, no problem, I got that covered. Keep on going.
Right, right. And also, when you buy a house, you can get a home warranty.
Mhm.
And the home warranty, you can get it to cover the pool. So,
Right. Highly
and hope,
recommended.
yeah, but you got to be really, really careful with the home warranty and to make sure that when you are buying the house, if on your inspection it refers to something of concern with the pool equipment, say for example, and it didn't get remedied and you don't have a receipt and
Mhm.
you have no proof that you had this fixed before you closed escrow, and let's say it's a big repair, the home warranty company may ask to see your
Mhm.
inspection report and you're going to get denied. So
Yeah, good point. Because the important thing to know there for home buyers is that those coverages are not designed to fix things that are broken when you buy the house.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you can't go, my pool pump's out. Well, they'll have the homeowner's warranty cover that. No, 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 that's just not going to work.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine, like, you buy a house with an AC condenser and it's like rusted out and it's falling apart and they call the home warranty? That's not going to work.
No, no.
Oh my gosh. All right. Then, utilities, that's a cost, but I mean, that's a cost whether you own or you don't own.
Right.
So, you might as well just, suck it up there with that. And just unexpected repairs, that happen, plumbing leaks, it's usually plumbing leaks or
Small stuff, maintenance stuff, really.
sewer backups, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Those are really, I don't see that there's any other big unexpected expenses with owning a house. I mean, what do you think besides what
No,
we just
not
talked
really.
about?
We do our due diligence when we buy these houses, when we're with buyers and we do these deals. But I think for the most part, speaking for myself, when I moved in, it's like, well, you know what? I love the house, but I don't like that window covering so much. Maybe I'll replace that. Or small stuff like that. Maybe I don't like that paint in that bedroom. I'll repaint that bedroom or whatever. Things like that. Not big expenses, but something that once you move in, you want to put your own, your own mark on the house, your own flavor to the house, and decide you might want to change something out.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if your name's Rick, you,
The OCD Rick. No, no, no,
yeah.
that paint's not the right shade. I gotta go a different shade in that paint.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So right now, paint is pretty expensive. If you hire
Yes.
a licensed contractor, which you should, because if you don't, let's say, for example, you've got somebody working on your house and they get hurt, that's going to be a homeowner's insurance claim rather than workers' comp if they were working for somebody.
Right.
Anyway, paint has gotten really expensive, and I find that the average 3-bedroom, 2-bath, painting it inside and out, it's gonna at least run you at 20 grand right now.
Well, I can tell you from experience, I'm in the middle of this remodel. People don't realize how expensive the paint is. I mean, by the way, the higher grade paints are running upwards of $100 a gallon.
Yeah, that's
80.
bananas.
And so, okay, so what's that mean? Well, it means you're going to spend easily $10,000 on the inside of a house, 8,000
Right.
with a hire contractor. If it's a
Yeah.
4-bedroom house, for example, you can expect to spend no less than probably 7,000.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Everything
For
costs
the full
money.
house, including paint. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's pretty much it. So you're moving costs of customization, but yeah, I think that's pretty much covered. I mean, if you have a landscaper, that's going to cost you money every month.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I got fired from that job too, by the way. Karen fired the pool guy and the yard guy.
Oh my gosh. I think you might have sabotaged that a little bit. So
Maybe.
yeah.
That didn't work out too well. What should I do about that? Oh, we'll just
Yeah.
hire somebody.
Yeah. You're like, it turns out I like my weekend off.
Exactly.
Jeez. All right, Rick. Well, I think that's some good solid advice for people for this week. And if anybody thinks of anything we missed, send us a message. I mean, I'm looking at my list here, HOAs. I mean, there's an HOA when you buy the house. You know, that HOA dues increase over time. They don't get less. They're trying to cover maintenance and everything. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, Rick. Have a really great week, and
You as well, Megan.
you're gonna have a great day today. And
BB's on the way.
yeah,
Yeah, Grandpa tonight. Hopefully
yeah,
tonight. We'll see.
yeah. Well, congratulations to your family,
Thank
and
you.
I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
Awesome. See you, Megan. Take care.
Bye.